today we're talking about intersex people.
Yes,
or the concept of intersex as it pertains to nature, as it is a natural thing.
And I am very excited for this subject.
Pourquoi?
I made a video about it on TikTok asking intersex people to just kind of chime in the comments and tell me their experience. And it was pretty much crickets. I got like one person. And I feel like it's something that isn't very much talked about in society at all. And we kind of try to pretend intersex people don't exist. There's another girl I follow on TikTok who is intersex that I found like maybe a month ago. And just the syndrome that she has is fascinating. Her story's kind of fucked up, how she was treated as a child and how they tried to just kind of force her into one category. Yeah. And it's,
You're going to hear some more of that. There's plenty of that going around.
I find the topic fascinating. I want to learn more about it. And I'm excited because I know you did a lot of research for this episode.
I did do a lot of research for this episode. So one of the first things I discovered was, so you know how there's like transgender and there's also cisgender?
Yes.
So do you know what the non-intersex term is for people who are not intersex?
No, I don't actually know that.
Right? I don't think anybody does.
What? There's a term
for that? There is.
We don't know shit about fuck. That's crazy.
Yeah. So you're either intersex or you are endosex.
Okay, endosex.
So if you are not intersex, you are endosex. In the same way, if you are not transgender, you are cisgender. Which some people think is a slur for some reason because they don't know what words mean, which is fine. Endosex is the new slur.
So stupid. There's this TERF that like was on, she was debating this guy a couple of years ago that I follow, and she thinks TERF is a slur.
It's an acronym.
I'm like, if you're offended by it, it means a bad thing because you're a bad thing doing a bad thing. So I don't know, if the shoe fits, wear it, I guess, bitch. You're a TERF. Like,
exactly. Yeah, and the other thing that comes up on literally every science page, every medical page, every biology page is that it's a fully natural thing that occurs completely naturally in every animal kingdom that exists in this particular type of sex binary.
Yes, intersex people have always been around.
It is also an umbrella term, meaning that it applies to like a lot of different things. Like I think a lot of people, when they think of intersex, think only of the one thing, which is like, you're born with both.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's what most people think of.
What most people think of, yeah.
But that's less than 3% of intersex people.
Yeah, because there's, like 40 different types or 30?
There are more than 40 types of intersex that have been identified.
That we know of, and you know they haven't been researching this.
There's 46XX, which means you have fully female chromosomes and ovaries, but your external genitals are male. There's 46XY, which means you have completely male chromosomes, but your genitals are fully and completely female. And then there is sex chromosome intersex, a broad category with a variety of different things, such as XXY, just a single X, XXYY.
You can just be X?
Yeah, there's people with just a single X chromosome and don't have a second one. There's people who have like 6 chromosomes. It's like XXXXYY. Like there's so many different variations of how this can happen. It's why I didn't write them all down, because I'd literally just be sitting here going XXXXYYYXXYYXYYYXXYYYYXXX for like 25 minutes, because there's
so many variations.
It's crazy. It's something like 1 in every 2,000 people has a visual component to their genital variation.
That's actually more common than I was expecting. 1 in 2,000?
1 in every 2,000 people have a visual component.
Wow.
It's estimated that 17 out of every 1,000 people are intersex, or approximately 1.7% of the population.
That's more common than trans people, right?
It is almost twice as common as trans, as far as we know. But I also think that the rates of trans are closer to that
overlap.
And part of what I'm realizing in doing this research is trans people might just all be intersex.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. I know there's a lot of overlap with intersex people that are also trans, which would make sense because when an intersex person is born, we don't know that much about it because as soon as like somebody's baby is intersex, they're like, cut one of the things off. What'd you name it? Jake? All right, we're going to get rid of its ovaries. Like, that's how we freaking treat it. And then nobody tells the kid.
Yeah. The first time I ever learned about this, I was like 11 or 10 years old, and one of my cousins was born with both. Was one of the very, very, very small percentage, the 0.05% of the population that is born with both. And they just decided that he was going to be a boy, and they performed surgery, sealed up the other part, took out some stuff, and were like, yeah, we're just going to say you're a boy and you've always been a boy, and that's what it is.
It's crazy how so many people are always freaking out about like, oh, trans people, they're trying to indoctrinate the kids and make them get all these surgeries. When trans kids aren't getting surgeries, that's incredibly rare, and it's never bottom surgery. Also, when intersex kids are born, they're literally doing surgeries on them as a baby when they can't even talk
non-consensual
or form a coherent
surgery.
thought.
Yes.
It's insane. The hypocrisy. It's insane.
Yeah.
But it's not about saving kids. It's about putting people into a little box. You're either male or female. That's all you are. We don't talk about it. Shut up. Do what you're told. Like, it's so stupid.
That's how society was set up. That's how patriarchy works. Like, you have to pick a side. You're either in the class with the power or you're in the servant class. Those are the only options for you. And so when somebody breaks that, they're like, what do we do?
Yeah.
We better just pick for the person, you know? It's crazy. So the term intersex applies to variation in reproductive organs, sexual anatomy, chromosomal patterns, or hormone imbalances. All of that is covered in the intersex umbrella.
Even hormone imbalances.
Yes. If it's a stark type of hormone imbalance, it counts as being intersex.
Oh, I'm so excited for this episode. It's mostly because like we were talking about it. We think I might be intersex. It would explain a lot of things.
It sure could.
Wow.
And the vast majority of people who are intersex have no idea that they're intersex until it's like forced upon them to find out. The most common way that most people have found out that they're intersex is because they're professional athletes and they get their hormones tested, because now we do that for professional athletes, and they find out that like, oh, your T level's too high, or like, oh, your T level's too low, like something weird's going on here. But since they're only testing quote unquote women's sports, you're more likely to find out you're intersex if you are assigned female.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So like assigned male athletes basically aren't finding out because nobody ever tests their hormones before they go perform.
Which is insane.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb. But they're just like, they're like, oh, actually, it turns out you have like fully formed testes just inside of you that are producing a high level of testosterone, and that's why you're. And we're going to blame that for why you're so fast at running or whatever stupid, thing that they believe. Do you know what the intersex flag looks like?
I don't, actually.
When you look at it, you might tell me I'm wrong about the colors, but I feel like I'm right because it's a plain yellow flag with a big blue circle.
Okay.
And the people who designed it said that the complete circle is supposed to symbolize wholeness and completeness.
I'm going to have to check the colors for you because I don't trust your blind ass judgment.
Chloe
is colorblind if you didn't catch that.
I can't see all the colors.
You can only see blue and
yellow and blue, which is why I'm pretty sure it's yellow and blue.
Sometimes you see other colors as blue and yellow, though.
Because some variation of other thing that I'm just perceiving as yellow and blue.
Yeah.
But I think it's yellow and blue.
Okay, well, we're going to look at it later.
90% confident that it's yellow and blue.
Watch, it's like orange and purple or something.
I'd be so upset. I'll put text on the screen if I fucked it up.
The only time I find it acceptable to be ableist is when I make fun of you for being colorblind.
In 2013, there was the Third International Intersex Forum. They met up in Malta, and they delivered the Malta Declaration. And they have 17 points. And the thing about these 17 points is if these 17 points were actually enacted, trans people would have equality. When I read the Malta Declaration, I was like, wait a minute. Maybe I should literally stop fighting for trans rights and start fighting for intersex rights.
Because it's just
Because trans people simply fall into the intersex umbrella whether we like it or not. And if these rights pass for intersex people, they will just apply to us.
trans people. Oh, what are they? I want to know what they are.
Yeah.
Lady and the Trans Podcast. Where we believe in science. We don't believe in God. Only science.